Know the country where you can buy a new wife at the fair. Throughout history, various ethnic groups have inhabited the planet. Each of these groups developed their own societies in the areas where they settled, creating specific cultures, traditions, and ways of life. These distinctive characteristics serve to differentiate them from one another, giving them a unique identity. A notable example is the Roma people, who have preserved their culture for hundreds of years, adopting peculiar lifestyles in various nations. They have their roots in northern India. That is, the individuals currently known as Roma or Gypsies are of Indian origin. Historical reports suggest that around the year 420 AD, these groups began to migrate from northern India, Afghanistan, and Pakistan towards the west. Among the chosen destinations were countries like England, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, and Turkey. Currently, the global Roma population is estimated at around 8 million. There are several theories that try to explain why the Roma left India and moved westward. Some suggest that they were forcibly taken as slaves by 4th century rulers, while other theories indicate that they migrated to serve as mercenaries in war conflicts, later settling in Western states. A distinctive feature of the Roma is the preservation of their lifestyle and culture, regardless of where they settle. Despite being known for their love of dance, the Roma often live on the margins of society in most countries, not being fully accepted by local communities, which tend to keep a certain distance from them. This social isolation can be attributed, in part, to the Roma's own behavior, who tend to stay away from the broader society. For example, it is common for them to withdraw their children from school at a young age, live in closed communities, and prefer marriages within their ethnic group, thus reinforcing their separation from the general society. In Bulgaria, the Roma live in a segregated manner, resulting in tense relations both with Bulgarians and among themselves. According to some sources, Bulgarian Roma tend to avoid formal work, occupying vacant lands that they adapt for their needs and, over time, these places become exclusive Roma neighborhoods, further accentuating the division between them and the rest of society. The main cause of the distant relationship between Bulgarians and Roma seems quite evident. The disorderly lifestyle of the Roma and their apparent lack of consideration for social norms generate discomfort among Bulgarians. Previously, the Roma population in Bulgaria was larger. However, with Bulgaria's entry into the European Union and the consequent opening of borders, many Roma migrated to other European countries, decreasing their presence in Bulgaria. Currently, Bulgarian Roma mainly reside in areas reminiscent of slums located in less developed rural regions of cities. These areas inhabited by the Roma are notably neglected by the government, characterized by poorly maintained roads, houses with peeling paint, and poorly cared-for green spaces. The quality of life in these places is considerably lower than that of a typical village, with old houses and individual gardens, in contrast to apartment buildings. To better understand the social dynamics of the Roma in this country, it is interesting to observe the bride markets. These circumstances have led the Roma in Bulgaria to maintain a rather unusual tradition that takes place annually. This tradition is so unique that these impoverished communities see it as a life-changing opportunity. In Bulgaria, where unemployment is high and most people live modestly, the Roma, with an even lower standard of living, found a way to improve their conditions through their daughters. In ancient Anatolian culture, it was common for the groom's family to pay a dowry to the bride's father, a custom often depicted in old movies. This dowry was given as a wedding gift, and the bride left the family. Over time, this practice transformed in many countries, and the idea of a monetary dowry was lost. Today, in countries like Turkey, money is not paid directly to brides, but the bride's family may request gold gifts such as bracelets, necklaces, and earrings, and also require the groom to cover most of the wedding expenses. Thus, the dowry was modernized. However, in Bulgaria, what happens with the Roma is a commercialized version of this practice. Families withdraw their daughters from school after primary education and prepare them for marriage, selling them in a way at open-air markets. The Bulgarian government does not impose sanctions against this practice. At certain times of the year, these markets are held, attracting people from various regions of Bulgaria, where girls are handed over to strangers in exchange for money. Although many consider this an archaic and primitive custom, this tradition persists in Bulgaria, being seen by local Roma as part of their culture. On the day of the bride market, there is an atmosphere of joy and expectation in the homes of Roma families. The girls strive to present themselves in the most elegant and attractive way possible. For example, families begin preparing a year in advance, acquiring expensive clothes and shoes to enhance their daughter's elegance. With preparations completed, they are taken to the market. The surprising aspect is that Roma women participate in these events voluntarily and seem satisfied with the situation. Perhaps due to their limited interaction with the broader society, they see these markets as a valuable opportunity in their lives. Additionally, the price set for each girl in the market varies according to her age and appearance, being determined by the father. Generally, an 18-year-old girl has a higher value than a 25-year-old one. If a high offer is made for a daughter, the family feels great pride and often mentions it. Or if the person herself married this way, she takes pride in how much she was worth at that time. Thus, for the Roma in Bulgaria, being evaluated in monetary terms is a source of joy. Roma families go together to the bride market, usually on Sundays. According to the information, the amount the groom's family must spend to obtain an average bride ranges between $10,000 and $20,000, potentially reaching up to $50,000 in some cases. In Bulgaria, where incomes are low compared to other European countries and the dollar has a high value, amounts like $50,000 are considered extremely high. The concept of money is highly valued, and the amount allocated for the dowry is considered sufficient. Interestingly, features like blue eyes, which are rarer in Bulgaria, can influence the price increase. Additionally, it is common for the bride and groom's families to meet for the first time at the market. To avoid prior acquaintance during the school period, almost no Roma girls continue their studies after primary education. Roma children, both boys and girls, are taken to these markets from the age of 15 to get married, indicating marriage at a very young age. Consequently, it is rare to see Roma participating in social life in Bulgaria, as marrying off their daughters through the bride markets is considered more appropriate. It is important to note that these customs of the Roma in Bulgaria do not represent all Roma communities worldwide. The bride markets maintained by certain Roma communities in Bulgaria are held in Stara Zagora, one of the largest cities in Bulgaria, with a significant Roma population. These open markets, held at certain times of the year, attract many visitors from all over Europe to Stara Zagora, contributing to the local economy. For both parties involved in Roma marriages in Bulgaria, there are important criteria to consider. The bride's family seeks a groom with the greatest possible wealth, while for the groom, the bride must be as young and attractive as possible. Marriage on these terms is purely based on external criteria, such as physical appearance and wealth, and can be seen as a marriage of mutual interest. However, the Roma have a distinctive characteristic. Even coming from different tribes, they manage to establish connections and integrate quickly with each other. For example, after the agreement is closed at the marriage market, a celebration is organized at the bride's house, with the participation of the groom. The actions include dances and songs, central elements in Roma culture, allowing them to keep their cultural traditions alive. The Roma value living in the moment, prioritizing joy and entertainment, without much concern for economies or the future. In short, they find happiness in their own environment and maintain their traditions with pride. Roma neighborhoods, with their unique cultural characteristics, can be found in many parts of the world. These communities are a testament to the cultural richness of the Roma and their ability to preserve their identity over time, despite the various influences and challenges faced. In recent decades, new technologies have played a crucial role in forming new relationships, which has reduced the importance and popularity of traditional marriage fairs. Nowadays, many members of this social custom of buying wives at fairs are finding their romantic partners through social media. The tradition of the dowry remains relevant, whether the couple met at the fair or not. This shows that this practice is a constant in the culture. After marrying, women are traditionally responsible for obeying their husbands and dedicating themselves exclusively to household and family care. And now, we ask you, did you know all this about Bulgaria? Leave us your opinion in the comments. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your like and your comment. See you in the next video.